Okay, we'll call a meeting to order. If you could please stand for the pledge. Pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, good afternoon. Today is Thursday, September 16th, 2021. This is the Town of Riverhead Planning Board meeting. A couple discussion items on our agenda this afternoon. The first one is 48 3rd Street Townhomes. Are they coming today, Greg, or?
I informed them at the meeting. I was under the impression they were going to be here, but I mean, I can present it. If there's
Okay.
any questions, I can relay them to the applicant. So this is a site plan application proposing to construct a 2-story, 4-unit townhouse on a parcel of land which is presently improved with a dilapidated single-family residence. Development plan also proposes parking, lighting, landscaping, and stormwater management improvements through the site. The proposed townhouse development has a footprint of 2,040 square feet and a total floor area of 4,116 square feet. Floor plan for each of the proposed units identifies that each unit will have a covered porch on the front of the house, a kitchen, living room, half bath on the ground floor, and 2 bedrooms and a full bath on the second floor. Property is located at 48 3rd Street in Riverhead. It's located on the north side of the road within the DC4 Office Residential Transition Zoning District. It is also located within the downtown Riverhead Historic District. Subject parcel is presently approved with a 2-story dilapidated single-family residence. It's surrounded on both the eastern and western sides by single-family residences, and it abuts the Long Island Railroad tracks to the north. Proposed action is a type 1 action pursuant to SECRA, requiring coordinated review among involved agencies. I have prepared a resolution to classify that and initiate the coordinated review. I did note one error on the full EAF. The full EAF stated that the property is not located within a historic district. The EAF must be amended prior to that coordination review letter being sent out. In its current plan, the site plan will require 3 variances for a rear yard setback being 12 feet 4 inches, where the minimum required is 25. The proposed 2-way driveway aisle is 20 feet wide, where the minimum required is 24. And proposed parking stall number 1 is 9 feet by 19, where the minimum required is 10 by 20, although I think that can be addressed through a revision. I did also note that the current parking plans appear to comply with the town's parking requirements, but there is no handicap accessible aisle for the handicap stall. Now, the board, when we reviewed a similar application across the street known as Riverhead Townhomes, they were required to provide that handicap parking space as well as the accessible aisle. I did raise that question to the applicant. He's going to either provide that accessible aisle, or he intimated that the walkway in front of the house is going to be a flush curb, so that may be able to serve as an accessible aisle. But he's going to clarify that, and if they require an additional variance, we'll identify that. The applicant has consulted with the Landmarks Preservation Commission. The commission, at this point, they reviewed plans, and the general consensus was that they had made improvements to the proposed building. The Landmarks Preservation Commission voted to allow the demolition of the existing structure on the condition that the revised plans meet any of the commission's concerns and will be resubmitted. They will be re-reviewed by the commission, and they'll be sent to the ARB for their review and comments. The parcel is located within the Riverhead Sewer District and the Water District. They need to provide some additional notes on the landscaping, such as the types of plants, the number of plantings, and whether or not the irrigation will be provided via an on-site well or if it will be fed by town water. The application does propose a 6x6 trash refuse area near the eastern side of the property. And I noted on our town code, as the proposed townhouse development is considered a commercial operation because it contains more than 3 dwelling units, would not be eligible to receive solid waste collection through the town, and they must hire their own solid waste management company. They're proposing 8 LED wall-mounted lights on the front and the rear of the building and 6 LED solar pole-mounted lights. They just need to provide the mounting heights of those fixtures, but all fixtures are 3,000 degree Kelvin, so they will comply with the town code's exterior lighting guidelines. Review of the plans, referral is not required to the Planning Commission pursuant to an intermunicipal agreement between the town and the Suffolk County Planning Commission. They'll need health department approval and all the standard fire marshal approvals, and we will refer them to those agencies during the secret coordination period.
Did they receive the variances, or I see they need 3 variances?
They have yet to receive, we haven't issued a denial, they need to clarify some of the plans just to determine the number of variances and the types. But once we receive any revised plans, we'll issue a denial based on what they're gonna go forward with.
There's a error on the plan.
Yeah,
See
this,
that? The sewer line, water line. You see where it says water meter, and then a little further over, you've got an underground sanitary line, and if you follow it up, it says underground water service. See that? And I assume that they'll have to do something with the water service to get it to all 3 units.
yeah, I don't know how it's gonna, I don't know what the internal water service is gonna be like. That's something that the applicant can clarify.
Should say all 4 units.
Yeah.
What's the size of each of the units? Do you have that?
I don't think he gave a breakdown.
Yeah, the total size of each unit.
Size of each unit. He did not indicate the total floor area of each unit. But I mean, if we're talking about approximately a 4,100 square foot floor area divided by 4, maybe around 1,000 square feet, give or take.
Well, they're 2 stories also.
Correct. Yep, and the 2 bedrooms are on the 2nd floor. I think that they range in size from 120 square feet up to 150 square feet, so they meet the minimum size for bedrooms for New York State Building Code.
Greg, on the variances, so it says rear yard setback is 12 feet 4 inches, and the minimum required is 25 feet.
Correct.
But on the plan, it shows from the back, 21.7 to the backyard.
No, so if you look on the plans, the rear yard setback is determined by the closest setback, and I guess this would be the northwest corner. I guess if you're looking on the plans, the leftmost
I'm
unit.
looking at the survey.
Oh, no, that's the existing survey. That's the existing
Oh, I didn't
single-family
get-
residence.
I didn't get,
Are you gonna get the set?
no, at least I don't think I did. That's all right, I'll look at this one.
Yeah, if you look at the leftmost unit, it is 12 foot 4 inches. That's the closest setback to that rear property line.
Are they fenced off between their railroad tracks?
No. No, right now they are proposing a chain link fence. The plans do say chain link fence with stockade, which is taken right out of the code. I mean, it's a little bit conflicting.
Was that one though, they could put those metal strips?
They could put a chain link fence with privacy slats, or they could
Yeah,
put
slats,
stockade fence. But yeah, right now it's just open, you can walk right on the railroad tracks. Yeah, I mean, I put some pictures in the staff report of the house. I mean, there's graffiti on the back of it. I saw beer cans and, garbage all throughout the site, so, this would surely be a nice improvement from a boarded up,
Yeah.
dilapidated building.
So the reason I asked that question, I don't know, it just seems a little close, I mean, not for us to grant that, but it just seems a little close to be right on a railroad, 12 feet like that, but,
I can refer the plans to the railroad. I have referred a couple of plans before. It's very difficult trying to get in touch with anyone from them, but
Well-
I can refer, I have a contact that I've sent the other, other environmental review and documents to, so I can send that to them, and if we get comments from them, we will.
okay.
I would think they might say something about a fence.
Yeah.
Or the ZBA may say something.
I mean, other than that, I think it's great, they're rebuilding a dilapidated house, let's,
Yeah.
make the area look nice, and, I don't know, maybe the units are a little bigger than we've seen recently, right?
Yeah, it is. It actually looks very good. What I liked about it was, I guess they had the guidelines from historical, and they got pretty close.
Yeah,
They got pretty close to making it look like what was there, I mean, I did think also about the closeness to the tracks. I mean, if we're 12 feet off, I can tell you it's close. I looked at the property, but,
Yeah, I mean, when that train rolls by, it's gonna, it'll shake your house a little
You
bit.
know, there's not too many that go by there.
It's only like 3 or 4 a day, but.
Yeah, maybe, you know, I don't even know if there's that many.
It's just close, you know, it's just
It's
close.
just, you know.
Yeah, I'll refer it to the person that I've referred plans to before. If we get comments, we'll get comments back.
Or we could even ask the applicant if there's any way they could just put a few more feet distance in there.
I looked at that also, the only way
Zoning
to do
board
that.
might make them do that.
Yeah, it's zoning board, so I mean, it's really not us,
Yeah.
it's just an observation of,
Yep.
you know.
Yep, yep.
Do that, we can do that after the ZBA makes a determination.
Alright.
Stockade fence.
So did you share all your comments with the applicant, Greg?
Yep, I sent my report to them yesterday. They were gonna review it. If they had any questions, they were gonna reach out to me, so I'll continue to work with them. You know, we'll clarify the thing with the handicap stall, identify the need for any variances. We'll move forward.
Okay, great.
What do you guys think about a 6-foot chain link fence?
I mean, that sounds appropriate to
Stockade
me.
fence would be better.
What's that?
Stockade,
I don't know about them as a garage.
Yeah,
Well, didn't they say stockade on
no.
chain link?
I like the idea of the 6 foot, just
Did they
safety
mention,
more than anything.
stockade on the chain link?
So, the town code says when there's a, the buffer required is a 6-foot chain link fence with stockade attached. In my mind, it's either a chain link fence or a wooden stockade fence.
Because, you know, you can do both, I've seen them 100 times.
Yeah.
Whatever,
Yeah, well, when we have them back, we'll
yeah.
All right.
maybe just remind us. Okay, the next application we have is Manalav LLC Farm Stand.
So this is actually a farm stand application. It's just a minor expansion of an existing farm stand that was previously approved by the planning board back in 2018, I believe. This is on the northwest corner of Manor Road and Middle Country Road. The previous application was known as Lavender by the Bay. It's since been, I think they just changed company names to Manor Lav. The farm stand is on what's known as lot number 2 of the minor subdivision of Calverton Manor, which was approved by the planning board in 2019. The last time the board reviewed it, it was all one lot. So this farm stand is on a roughly 6.6 acre parcel where development rights are intact. They're proposing a number of storage containers for drying lavender. They've got a photo shoot sign, and a couple of fire-rated display tents which will be used temporarily through June through September of any calendar year, and then there's another tent to be used through June and October of any calendar year. We've received plans. The Agricultural Advisory Committee reviewed this application at its meeting on Monday, September 13th. At that time, they recommended approval of the plans with the condition that there be provided clear access to the overflow parking area. Now, if you notice on the plans, on sheet SP2, it's most clearly visible. They do have a parking area, the existing compacted RCA parking area. At the end of that parking area on the western terminus, there's a fire-rated display tent. And then there's an area which is defined beyond that as overflow parking spaces as required, an area of high grass and brush. I did look on aerial images. There is enough, if there is enough pass-by room on the south side of that tent where cars could be able to get into that overflow parking area. But if the board would prefer, they could just relocate the tent in line with the other tents to keep that area, free and clear.
Greg, they have an approved site plan for frontage on Route 25, I see they're planting.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna ask.
So
too.
they're planting it. They're not putting any structures there. They're using that to farm.
So it's going to be native farm?
They're gonna farm that, they're gonna plant lavender in that area, yeah.
You know
think
what
it
I don't
already
see
is.
on this?
Yeah, it
Porta potties.
They
What's that?
waited years
I don't
for
see
it.
porta potties.
They do have a portable, on sheet SP2, they do
Yeah.
show an 8-foot by 20-foot ADA compliant porta potty trailer, which will be temporarily used. It's right up in.
Here. Just a moot point, but is there anything in the code that says they can only have so many trailers on one piece of land? There's no, okay. Because there's already.
They're already there, right?
Yeah, there's three, and they use them to dry the lavender before it's sold, I guess. But yeah, there's no restrictions that I found as to the number of trailers.
So that tent, you said, how big is that tent?
The display tent is 16 foot by 20 foot.
It's not that big.
No.
Does that require any kind of review from the fire marshal?
I'll refer to the fire marshal. I know that, so this was really, the reason they're back, there was some conversations that happened between the Farmland Preservation Commission, and they wanted it referred back to the planning board and the ag advisory to ensure that there were no structures on preserved farmland, because the way this subdivision was, configured, Lot 1 was on the frontage with Middle Country Road, Lot 2 was in the middle, Lot 3, which is to the north of the existing farm stand, has development rights sold. So the Farmland Preservation Commission wanted to ensure that there were no structures or parking on preserved farmland, which there is not.
Okay, on the first drawing, if you look up in there where it says total area, it says that the water is supplied by the Suffolk County Water Authority?
I don't think that's
I don't
Yeah,
think
no,
so.
I mean, that's incorrect. Yeah, right now, there's no, I don't believe there's any public water down Manor Road.
It's far away from there.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, they provide all their, they've got irrigation wells where they
Yeah,
provide their
okay,
water.
that makes sense. You just cross that out.
It doesn't go to the health department or anything, does it?
So, any other questions? This one was pretty simple.
Nope. Thank you. All right, no public hearings today. We are up to the resolution. Any comments? I don't see anybody, there's only one person here. Any comments on resolutions? Anyone want to comment? Okay,
I'll move resolution 96 for 48 Third Street townhomes to classify the site plan application as a type 1 action. So moved.
motion made and seconded to approve Resolution 96 as a type 1 action for 48 Third Street townhomes. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Okay, resolution is approved.
Move resolution number 97, preliminary site plan approval for EP Equity Holdings.
second motion?
Okay, motion made and seconded to approve Resolution 97 for EP Equity Holdings. That's Edwards Avenue in Calverton, preliminary site plan approval. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Resolution is approved.
Move
Move resolution number 98, Manor Lab LLC Farm Stand for a grant approval farm stand application to
Second.
expand and modify a farm stand. So moved.
Second.
Motion made and seconded to approve Resolution 98 for Manalav LLC Farm Stand. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Resolution is approved. Do we have any public comment on any matter in front of the planning board? Any public comment today at all?
I just want to make a statement for the board and for any members of the public that are watching. The draft environmental impact statement for the 1792 Middle Road Breezy Hill application was posted on the town's website. It's available if you go to the main page down at the bottom under the Hot Topics link. That electronic version of that draft environmental impact statement is available. We also have it available at the town clerk's office as well as the planning department, and I will be dropping off a physical copy at the Riverhead Library as well. So it's available for public review, and we have a public hearing on that, I believe is November 4th.
Okay.
a motion to move the minutes of the September 2nd, 2021 planning board meeting. So moved.
Okay, motion made and seconded to approve the minutes of September 2nd, 2021. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, just a question, other business. We had gotten this memo from the Water District dated August 24th, 2021. It was about Island Water Park. I don't believe that we have any jurisdiction here. I just want to confirm that because there was some pretty significant comments here from the Water District, and we were copied on it, so I just want to confirm that we don't have any input towards this.
That is correct. The Island Water Park project is located in the urban renewal area, so it is a town board site plan. That specific letter was discussed at a town board work session a couple of weeks ago. Water District Superintendent was present. I was present, as well as Jefferson.
Okay, so
Um,
the town
so-
board got this and
The
they
town board
know
is,
about it.
town board is well aware of that
All right.
letter, yes.
Great. I don't have anything else. Anything else from any board member?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Have a good day. Thank you.
Is it a record? Is it a record?